Can you guys hear me? It's my first time, so we'll see how well this works. Can you guys hear me? I'm gonna throw something out on the, can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay, cool. I think it is kind of working. I'm gonna throw something up and let everyone know I'm going. I'm gonna throw something out on the, can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay, cool. You guys are cool. I'm gonna throw something out and let everyone know I'm going. Cap, I'd love to have you back here. Definitely. Sorry, you're in a different time zone. And Gregory, I'd love to get you on here too. So we'll need to figure out a good time for you guys. Okay. So let's do. This is going to be a big project, so I'm gonna just reopen ZBrush fresh. Hey Hector. It doesn't show you on the participants. Okay. If you guys have any questions or anything, I guess when maybe some more people get in, but just go and drop them in the chat. I'm happy to talk about kind of what I do and my approaches and stuff. And honestly, if you guys just want to talk toys, I'm more than happy to geek out and talk about toys. Okay. Hey Gregory, sorry. I'm working on. No man, honestly, ask me as many questions as you want. I'm working on creating an AT-AT. I don't. I'm sure as you can see, I don't really actually have much on my channel. I do most of my stuff over on Patreon, and on my Facebook page. So I'm kind of giving this a bit of a whirl. But I do a lot of like Star Wars vehicles, mainly for printing, 3D printing for Patreon subscribers to print out and you know do with what they will. And so my patrons have asked for a 1/12 scale um, AT-AT, and so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna model an AT-AT that's gonna have some interior stuff, and hopefully they enjoy it. I think it should be a lot of fun. I like doing ships and vehicles and stuff, and honestly, the AT-AT is actually really is one of my favorite vehicles of like all time. Is actually my when when Star Wars came back around in the mid '90s. I still remember getting that AT-AT for Christmas, and I still actually have it sitting right over there on my shelf. It's battered all to hell, but it is it's a really cool toy. I really love that thing. And right now I'm just downloading a bunch of photos that my friend Hector sent me, who should be watching on the chat right now. But I'm just kind of just trying to grab a bunch of photos right now on my other screen, and getting those ready to go for reference photos. So I went over to the starwars.com website and grabbed as many reference photos as possible. They actually have segments of the film, so I just screen capped a bunch of it. So also went and found some of the incredible cross-section stuff. I don't think this is incredible cross sections. I think this is the essential guide to vehicles from Star Wars. So they would give you like the orthographic views. But then Hector Gonzalez, who runs FigureWorks Customs, he actually has the book for Star Wars blueprints, and so he's helped me out quite a bit with some projects, giving me some blueprints and stuff on here. So go check out his website if you ever get a chance. FigureWorks Customs. Maybe he'll drop it in the chat. So how are you doing tonight, Gregory? Got some good photos here. Hector, can you hear me okay? Some wonderful details right here. I love the greebling on this vehicle. My goal is to get it's a 1/12 scale. One of these is going to be really big. I mean, it's going to be 5 feet tall. So it may be a little bit shrunk down, but I want to have like the cockpit that's big enough for at least 3 characters to stand in. I want to have basically I want to have an interior that's going to be tall enough for 2 levels. So you're going to have maybe like a staging area and then like a troop sitting area where they're all kind of chilling out. So like a staging area with like weapon racks and things. I'm imagining the tube is going to should be tall enough for a character to fit through it. So probably the diameter is going to be basically like a 6-inch PVC pipe, essentially. We'll see. Again, this thing fully scaled up is going to be huge. It's not going to have articulated legs, as much as I know people really want to have articulated legs. I mean, just think about it this way: it's just not going to fit. There's no reason for it to even have articulated legs at that size. Because I mean, it's essentially a piece of furniture. Hey, welcome, Figureworks. Drop your link in the thing, man. Let them see what you got. And by the way, I got my links down below, so if you guys are into Patreon, sweet. Yeah, you may have found my N1 actually in there. Okay, so I need to actually, first thing I need to do is I need to set up my image planes so I can get like my scale correct. So I have a front plane, back plane, and side plane. So I just need to actually kind of get all this set up and going. Let's see, left and right. Import. You guys have any good pickups lately? There we go. I need to flip it. There we go. Alright, so I want to essentially line this up. By the way, for those of you that don't know me in person, I'm actually a teacher. I'm a professor at a university. So if it sounds like I'm starting to go a bit into lecture, I actually teach like ZBrush and animation and modeling and stuff professionally. So I'm really sorry if it sounds like I'm going into like my professory voice. I've been, with COVID and everything for the past couple of years, I've been doing everything on like Zoom and recording videos. So this feels kind of normal. Alright, now I need to do draw. Well, Hector, you got limited space though, man. Like you got rid of a lot of stuff. Is there anything you're looking for? I agree, Gregory. It does look like dryer ducting. It really does. Not even like the tinfoily one, but like the hard dryer ducting. That reinforced one. It definitely looks like that. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they used. This is how you use ZBrush 101. Oh god. I'm not even getting paid for it. I'm still doing it. What am I doing? Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, that's what I want. That's what I need. Okay. This is going to take a minute to set up these planes. It always takes a minute. So Gregory, what it is Patreon basically is a subscription service where you're helping support creators in what we do. And so like for me, The focus of my business was I was selling 3D prints, and I did that for years. Um, and it became very obvious within the past couple of years that like everyone was getting into doing 3D printing on their own. So it kind of just didn't really make a lot of sense to keep pushing 3D printing. Um, and I also have a child, a toddler, and I just don't have a lot of time. So my Patreon is basically there's about $15, 25 if you want to like resell stuff per month, and you get access to files that I post on the Patreon. And then I have a archive collection, which is like the big projects. So like the AT-AT would be an archive collection project. And so after like 3 months of you being a member, then you get access to the archive collection. So that's what my Patreon is. Man, Hector, I don't know about that. But seriously, they got a 1/6 Grogu and Lothcat. Oh, that's cool. That'd be neat. You gotta be careful though. Those hot toys, they will get you, from what I hear. Okay. Alright, so I'm just setting. Okay, so I'm setting my top heights basically for the body right here. I'm gonna flip over on the side, and then I'm gonna go to my left, right. I'm gonna adjust that. So this is the picture I'll be adjusting. Right. Yeah, they definitely had to make do with what they could find, especially back in the 1980. I think yeah, that's when the Empire came out. I just got the DTOL. I don't know if you guys can see it behind me. Right. Yeah, I picked up that last weekend. I'm pretty happy with that. It's pretty close. Actually, I gotta go just a little bit. Scale. Just gotta scale it just a little bit more. No, I can't do it. 1.1? No. Okay, I think there's a limit on ZBrush. Okay, so I think I need to bring like this up. Front, back. A little vertical, bring this up. Says, okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. So got that. So that's basically going to be me starting out with what our plan is going to be. It does. It really does. I like that DTOF. I'm really curious how new is going to be Hot Toys wise, because I saw the life size one they came out with. And it looks good, but I wasn't really that. I was a little weird about it, so I was like, I don't know. All right. Yeah, yeah, I'm just gonna do polygonal modeling, honestly. I'm gonna flip over to this little thing. It has a much simpler, uh, much simpler topology than the other one does. Let's see. See if I can film mode. Yeah, it'd be a little easier. Okay. Also need, once I start getting stuff in here, I'm gonna throw in a human body for scale, just to kind of figure out how I want this to go. Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I'm a very lazy I'm a very lazy modeler. If I can do something a little bit more easily, I will definitely do that. Alright, let's bring this out. Let's do a little extrusion. It's kind of weird though, because I was talking to actually I don't know if you know him, but Ian earlier today, Ian Vandenberg, and he was asking about getting the leg to be um, posable, and I don't know how, honestly, how that would work. Like, I get it, like people would want it to be posable, but I don't know how it would work. So I'm kind of thinking like the legs would be interchangeable, and you could have um, basically four straight legs, or you could do a combination of like what they do here, where they're already kind of like posed in a walking position, and then you could like slot them out and like change up the way it looks, and then also have like the neck either straight or like pre-posed, kind of like those like the cheaper hot toys where they're like dynamically posed. Thank you. I've been working on ZBrush since like 2010, I guess, 2009 at this point. Um, so yeah, I was thinking that might actually work. Might be because I'm thinking again, like this thing's gonna be either like 4 or 5 feet tall, so you need stability. Especially I think like my child, like if this thing, if the kid, if someone crawls up on top of this thing, it's gonna topple. It's gonna be very top heavy. Okay. So it looks like there's probably like some armor plating that goes up on here. Let's bring it up. Yeah, it looks like there's a little extrusion right there. It's kind of funny though, because I was pulling there's differences in like all of these pictures that I'm grabbing. Like there's details that are in here that aren't in the film, and there's details in the film that aren't in here. Kind of neat, actually. Actually, let's do this. Nope, nope. Let's just extrude that. Yeah, and yeah, honestly, I feel like there probably would have to be metal components. And I'm not even sure I wouldn't put something in here anyways, just to make sure that like it has some sort of ability to be reinforced. I'm kind of thinking, honestly, the body is probably going to go pretty quickly. It's a very, it's not, well, it's not super varied, but it's quite simple in its form. Let's go back here. This film that always throws me off. Okay, there we go. So I can't really see anything, so it's kind of hard to. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Just want to throw a edge loop in there. Yeah, I mean, at that point, I think you would, if you're gonna do it by locking, I feel like you'd have to have like an Allen wrench or something to like tighten a nut down. Because otherwise, I mean, otherwise you could do like swap out knees and hips, and maybe that would do something. think the back end also kind of together. It's kind of weird on this. This is my first stream ever, and like there's like a delay of like a minute or two, I think, from like when I see chat, and then I'll say something, and then I think it plays back, and then I get a chat back. It's kind of weird. I think that might be. It might work. Okay. Alright, let's do. There we go. It's kind of funny how like people ask for vehicles for a while, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. I'm like, it's crazy, it's too big, you never actually want it, and then 3 years later, here I am sitting here modeling one. Like, well, here we go. See how this looks. Okay, got the main shape here. I think I need to honestly get rid of this edge right here. Let's get rid of you. Delete, delete. There we go. Okay, that feels better. Let's go throw in a neck. So how's your work going, man? Going okay? Let's do silver. Yeah, Chris. It will be huge at 112. About 5 feet. Now let's see if any of the patrons actually end up printing it. So I'm guessing I'm going to try to get a feel for height here. So I'm going to bring in. So I need super average man, demo soldier. This is the secret to how I figure out scale. I don't actually measure anything. I just use characters. Alright. Okay. And I just kind of winged it. So alright, so this thing is supposed to be about 65 feet tall. 65 feet tall, 72 feet long. That would be 65 would be 10 roughly 11 people tall. Yeah, at roughly about slightly under 6 feet tall. So that means I need to take this guy. I'm going to duplicate him real quick. Bloop. Oh, it's got multiple subdivision levels. Oops. Alright, let's go down to low, delete the high. So I'm just going to use basically a human yardstick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11. Yeah. Wow. That's huge. That is huge. Oh my god. Okay. So that's roughly the scale right there. Let's do auto groups. Okay. Alright, so that's how big a person would be there. And actually, you know what? That fits. That fits really well with having a person be able to walk through cleanly through the neck. And then you'd be able to get into the head. Oof. Yeah, really, I was kind of thinking, honestly, about scaling it down just a little bit. But, you know, I think that's doable. So then, if you have that, then you can have someone back here. This whole thing drops down. Or maybe it comes up. So, is that a window? Is that a window? Maybe, I don't know, maybe those are just panels. But yeah, if you have something there, and then you could have a decently sized second floor inside of it. So yeah, that actually that works. That's kind of crazy. Honestly, it's legitimately insane, but alright, I guess we're gonna deal with this. So Chris, have you had any good pickups lately? And we'll save this. While we're here. Oh, cool. Where in Pennsylvania are you? If you don't mind me asking. Oh, isn't that where they have the hedgehog or groundhog thing for Groundhog's Day? This is kind of where some of the drawings aren't really matching up very well. We'll have to play with it best we can. Yeah, it definitely would be more rural there. It's kind of, I mean, yeah, Pennsylvania is surprisingly rural. I lived in Indiana. We spent a lot of time in Ohio, my wife and I, because our family's from Ohio. And we went through Pennsylvania, I think, once when we were driving back from somewhere. And it's aside from like Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and what's the other like third big city? There's not a whole lot in Pennsylvania. And it's obviously it feels the same way in Texas. If you're not San Antonio, Houston, El Paso, Dallas, Fort Worth, or Austin, there's not much there, I guess. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out if this thing feels weird or not. No, it's kind of hard to tell, to be honest. I almost need like I don't have a down picture. You know what? I'm just going to keep working with it. We'll see how this thing goes. Insert. Let's go and turn on symmetry. I need symmetry on. Oh yeah, Gettysburg. Yeah, I guess Gettysburg will be kind of a big deal too. Yep. Austin's pretty cool. We live just north of Houston, actually, and I actually really like Houston. It's so much bigger than Indianapolis, where we used to live. Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, the 1/12 scale stuff gets so large so quickly. Why didn't that go over? I didn't copy over for some reason. I should copy over. Okay. I'd love to have you, man. I think I got a lot of cool stuff on there. Um, I just I uploaded a N1 Naboo Starfighter Gregory, and then I'm also putting the modified N1 Naboo Starfighter that they rebuilt, um, in my archive collection, and I also have a huge um, Millennium Falcon. It's kind of like the Hasbro diorama from San Diego Comic Con, um, 2017, 2016, something like that. It was this really cool one. Yeah, Chris, you should come to Houston, man. It's a lot of fun. Let me know if you ever come down here. One thing I will say though is that Houston has amazing, or no, well, Texas in general has really good food. Has a really good food scene. Compared to like the Midwest, it's the food in the Midwest is nothing compared to what we got here. Yeah, I thought it was 2017. It is. Yeah, it is. Hector, are you talking about Houston? Is it all over the place? There we go. Yeah, the barbecue's amazing. And the fact that like I can literally get a competent taco um, at a gas station blows my mind. Like the fact that I can get a taco that's not going to kill me and actually taste good is just phenomenal. So the little gel things, these guys right here. These right here. I think did they go in? I think they do. I think they go in. They go around cheap guns. Alright, I'll put them in with that. Yeah, Houston's a weird town. And I think part of the problem is we just have so much damn space. Um, and it's funny because real Houstonians will argue with you up and down about what's actually Houston and what's not. Like personally, I'm just kind of saying, you know what? If you're at this point, if you're in Harris County, you're basically in Houston. But you could even argue that like the suburbs of Houston extend up to like an hour away or over an hour away from Houston. and that's just it's crazy. But like, there's also, um, I mean, there's just a lot of little towns or a lot of cities that kind of build up the Houston metro area, and it is like the biggest city in the state. Although DFW is the biggest metro area because it's Dallas, Fort Worth, and Arlington, kind of all like piecemeal together. Get back over here. What are you doing, man? Get in there. I swear. These vertices, they don't listen. Thin that out. Thin this out. I've been to Manhattan once. Um, Actually, I thought it was really well organized. Although I guess you two would know better than me. Since Hector, you literally live in what? The Bronx? Broadway? Brooklyn? Brooklyn, I think. Okay. So you got the viewport right here. Heck yeah, man. Gregor, let's build it, man. Yeah, it would make sense, honestly, if that hatch is where they got some of the bigger stuff out. Um, and honestly, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, I could either have it, like, lay down flat or open up, like, a garage door. But maybe, yeah, I think, actually, I think maybe laying down flat might be a little bit more fun. Maybe have like little sliding things where it opens up. It actually hinges open like an actual I don't know what you call it. But it's got the little locking mechanism on it. I will say the one thing I'm not a fan of in Houston or in this area, there's not any good toy stores. I wish we had some nice comic book stores, but like as far as like places that are specializing in toys, action figures, collectibles, things like that, it's not a lot. When I was in Indy, we had this wonderful place called the Toy Pit, and if you're ever in Indianapolis, go up and check them out. They're up in Fishers, or maybe Newcastle. No, it's Fishers, northeastern side of the city, and it's just this vintage place. It's really cool. If you ever get a chance, I miss them. I think that's probably about right. Have any of you guys seen the NECA Demona out yet? I'm trying to go out and get out and look for that thing now. I don't seem to see it anywhere yet. I'm really surprised, Chris. I figured there'd be a lot of stuff in the New York area. This will go in. That'll go in. We do have one place that actually is kind of nice. It's called Space Cadets. It's in the Woodlands area. I kind of like them. They're pretty nice. All right, so I'm gonna make that hole for the. I hear a lot about Midtown Comics and Forbidden Planet. A lot of people talk good things about them. But hey, what I don't have in stores, I have in makeup for in copious amounts of targets. We have tons and tons and tons of targets around us. So that's something, I suppose. Okay. I'm going to use this as a ballooner. Out. Yeah, it kind of looks like a. Yeah, kind of looks like an AT-AT. Let's see. I need to bring this in. Let's mask this off. Taper. Mask you. It's weird. Why are you not listening to the mask? Okay, I'm going to do this by hand. I don't want to do it by hand though. See, you guys are saying you don't have anything, but look, you got plenty of stuff in the area. Look at that. Apparently, Houston has a Chinatown, and part of Chinatown has a crap ton of anime stores. I've not been to, but I hear they're quite fun. Okay. So I'm gonna have to, I think I might have to pull down that figure in a bit. Symmetry. There we go. Symmetry. Cool. Get some of that plating on here. Hi, JTC. Yeah, I do. Most of the things that I do are in some way or another actually custom. So if like something like pops up random on my feed, usually like that's like a custom job somebody's asked for. It's a human ruler. Hey man, you use things like measurements in your work, right? Like a real designer, with your whole design degree and all that shit. I use people. There we go. Okay. You're welcome, man. JTC, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to like just drop them in. I should say thank you to my Patreons or patrons, and then customers. Because you guys give me modeling stuff that like I honestly would never model. That Naboo Starfighter, if it wasn't for the patrons, like literally, talking to me about it the day after that thing came up, I would never have done it because the N1 is actually not my favorite Starfighter. Yes, we'll have to do a human ruler. And then like I did the Jedi Interceptor for another guy, and I don't really like the Jedi Interceptor, but I really enjoyed modeling that, so I actually really appreciate it as a unique design. Now, after he got me to do it, so it's kind of funny how like that kind of works out. It's very serendipitous, I believe. Hector, I think you need to print yourself a human ruler. What would keep you from having a human ruler? Just whip it out at work. You could even throw a little reference, be like, this is 13 Pedro Pascals. Which is funny because a Pascal is a unit of measurement. Do I scan images? I do like screen captures of like videos and stuff, and I'll grab images off the internet. I don't have any of my reference books. Like I had the entire like essential guide to vehicles and stuff when I was a kid, up until like the prequel series. So I don't actually have those anymore. Actually, Hector actually scanned some of the pictures for me for my other stuff. So thanks to him, some of this was able to be done. So this right here was just stuff I found from the internet. Oh, 3D scan. No, I can actually. Funnily enough, I actually have a 3D scanner actually sitting right over there, but I've never actually used it. It's something I got from work, um, from a gig one time, but I've never actually used it. So I should be able to work. Um, I have done 3D scanning for projects, but yeah, haven't actually done it for anything like this. My experiences with 3D scanning have been kind of middling, mainly just because it comes out so kind of crappy at times, to be honest. Hey man, whatever you gotta do to get through Wednesday night. Let's bring this down here. Yeah, lots of cleanup. For I do short films. I do animated short films, and I did this project where we basically scanned one of my students, and she was the actress for this project, and it just was the topology was just awful. It was really bad. It depends a lot on the quality of the scanner too, I suppose. But supposedly the one I was working with was high quality. I don't know. Although I did work on an interesting project. I had to clean up this. So there's this building. There's this really old home in this town I work in called Huntsville, and the home is like built in like the 1870s, and it has these columns with these capitals, these really ornate capitals at the top, and it's falling apart. It's a really old building, and so I was asked to help clean up these 3D scans because they were basically trying to reconstruct the capitals before they all fell apart. And so I had to go in and like clean up in ZBrush these 3D scan models, and they were just. I basically resculpted these 150-year-old capitals by hand. They were pretty rough, I'll admit. Very rough. It was a cool project, though. Yeah, definitely. Quality equipment is everything. I have seen, I think photogrammetry, where you take like tons of photos of an object, I think I've seen better results off of that, and just in general, than I have like actual like laser scanning. Although, I mean, like the stuff they do like in video games and films is like immaculate. Um, so I have no doubt, like, you know, there is absolutely quality that can be produced. I mean, I know quality can be produced. I've seen it. One project I worked on was this video game back in 2011, and we were it was an educational game, and so we had a guy that was going to museums and like taking hundreds of photos of artifacts, and that's what we were getting our game assets out of, were these assets that were being scanned, and those actually looked really, really cool. What am I doing? Excuse me. There we go. It's just that took up a lot of work because we had to go in and like rebuild it. Although we did a lot of rebuilding in ZBrush, it looked really cool. Well, that's cool. Chris, what were you recreating? That's not bad at all for an hour and 20 minutes with talking. Okay, so it's got this thing. What is that thing? Well, my method is I shove things in places I don't know what they are, and I'll figure it out later, looking at other pictures. It looks cylindrical, so I'm going to make a cylinder. Yeah, I'm going to be, yeah, that's part of the reasoning of doing this, Hector's, is to have that, that full interior. I've only ever seen one other AT-AT 3D print or 3D model that has any sort of interior, and I want to do something that actually looks, I don't want to say accurate, because it's not, I mean, none of this is accurate, but I want something that looks like what it actually might probably would look like. Whereas, like, the one I saw was, if you go on that website, it's the one, yeah, we had talked about this before, where there's this website, you sell 3D printed files, that they actually had, this guy had the full 3D printable Millennium Falcon. It was that guy, but he had an AT-AT, and that AT-AT was basically a revamp of the Hasbro 3 3/4 big one that they came out with, and he just basically just remodeled it and then added some features, but like the interior was still the same interior as that one, where you have like that little place where like a commander stands, and then below that you'd have some other stuff, and it was nice, but it wasn't accurate. So I was kind of spurred to think about it a little bit more about like the Lego one that just came out, the really detailed Lego one. That one has a really wonderful interior, and I want to see how many troops I can fit into this thing. Alright, so that's going to be that guy. So honestly, I mean, coming from like the actual people who will probably print this, I don't honestly think anyone's going to actually print the whole thing. I'm not silly enough to think that. Although I don't know, maybe they will. Who knows? But I think people will like Chris had mentioned, he's interested in the he's interested in like the foot or the head. And I think people would be interested in something like that. And I could be wrong, but I don't remember seeing anyone that's had that before. Although for all I know, probably Landspeeder Luke's already made it. knowing his tenacity for this type of stuff. Oh yeah, I agree, Chris. It would be, I think it's a wonderful playset for the 3.75 Walker, but it's not remotely accurate. It's really not. It's a nice playset though. Dude, you're right. Right now there is a 5-foot long Falcon that I printed sitting in Canada that's still being put together 2 years after I shipped it to him. Yeah, and then I'm doing that Jawa Sandcrawler too. it's going to go to Canada as well. So no, definitely don't. Um, yeah, don't underestimate the fans. They will do the stuff. They will do it. Let's see. I think you're gonna go out here. Go out here. Okay. Maybe it just needs to be thicker. I mean, I had a guy seriously try to get me to print out a full Falcon at 112 a few years ago, but I don't know honestly if he would have ever gone through with it. Let's do it. There we go. Well, I'd love, I mean, if someone wanted to actually, pay for me to print one at full size, I'd be happy to do it. Yeah, it was about 2 years ago. I got pictures on Instagram and my Facebook thing. It's not on my website though. I don't. Well, the STL is, but yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't bring it up too much. Oh yeah, did you get the STL for that? Duplicate this one. Yeah, the scratch building. That's crazy. That's a very very talented group of people that do that stuff. Did you ever end up printing that Falcon at all? Because I've had a few people buy it, but I don't honestly know if anyone's actually printed it yet. Does that look right? Yeah, maybe. Okay. And apparently that kind of pops out just a little bit right there. these are gonna be really thin legs. Oh my god. No wonder the rebellion knocked him down. What the hell is the Empire thinking? Like, seriously, like, this is... Oh, such a bad design. I love this thing so much, but holy shit. Bad design, guys. Bad design, Empire. Would you have Galen Urso design your Imperial Walkers? Don't you hate it when your wife comes down with a case of baby? Oh no. I think I can take... Yeah, I know that feeling you get sidetracked by things. I got a big problem with that. Alright, we'll take this. Let's do another one. Got too many edge loops. Get out of here, edge loops. We don't want you. We don't want your kind in here. Is that really the depth of that foot? Man, these feet are huge. Alright, take this, get here. Have you guys been able to find anything of the new Black Series wave? I think like the last thing I found was I think I picked up a Lando. I think that's the last thing I picked up. Actually, he's a good... I like Orlando. He's cool. he's got 4 feet. He's got toes, 4 toes on each foot. I'm going to start rounding this out somewhat. Yeah. Well, this is about a half a luke long, so let's say that's about accurate. Alright, let's taper you up. Just a bit. Actually, I think I need to go, let's go the opposite way. 6. Yeah, I'm pretty selective too. I'm not really touching the archive, mainly because if I buy an archive, I'm not taking it out off the card. I like the card art a little bit too much. I've actually picked up a couple. Where is it? Oh, it's over there. Actually, I got a 3.75 figure. That new Darth Maul. He looks really cool. But I have not even taken him off the card yet. Thanks, I appreciate that. Okay. I'm really hoping to find that Boba, or not Boba, Bib Fortuna. I think he looks really good. I'm not too stoked about the clothing that they're doing with him, but I think it looks pretty cool. Like, just visually, it looks really neat. Find him in 6-inch, I mean. Those look like feet. I'd say that's pretty close. So I do need to do the weird ankle thing here. God, I'm looking at like this rod right here. That's almost gonna have to be like metal, because all of the weight of the walker is going to be right on this. There's no way that's gonna stay printed. There's no way. I do want to get a Finnick Shan though. I'm a big fan of that actress, Ming Na Wen. She's awesome. I love her so much. Mm-hmm. Ooh, that looks gross. Let's fix this. Okay. Polish, you bastard. Okay, there we go. It's got this detail right here. This little cut. Was it? This little rod right here was used to stabilize it when they were filming? That's funny. That makes sense, honestly. Okay, so I need to create that little cut piece. That's not really good enough. Divide it. Yeah, that should be good. Lower. Get rid of this. Yeah, I think that'll give me what I'm wanting to. That little cut right there. Just make sure it's centered. Okay. That looks good. A little crappy right there, but we can do a little clay polish. We'll clean it up. Perfect. I mean, it worked, honestly. Like, what do you expect? You have this insanely top-heavy design. Like, what did they expected to happen? Okay. There it is. There it is. Something. That doesn't really go out that far, so I need to bring it back. Let's bring this back a little bit. Stretch that out. hit that accept. And then cut it right there. Oh man. Thought I was gonna do it for an hour, but I guess I'm gonna get a little bit longer. Alright, polygroup. Polygroup all. I did what's his name? Speeder, the Zartan. I did his speeder, actually. And it came out pretty good, actually. I kind of like it. I don't think. I'm trying to think if I have it anywhere. I have one. I have an extra one sitting around somewhere that hasn't been bought yet. It's green. I don't know. It's in somewhere. But yeah, I got Zartan's speeder. I haven't really done any more for G.I. Joe. I don't click with G.I. Joe. I wasn't really into G.I. Joe as a kid. So I'm up for it if anyone wants it, but I think I know the Star Wars crowd a little bit better. Marvel Legends I don't touch. They're weird. They're not weird, but they're definitely different, I think, than the Star Wars guys. Okay. The Swamp Ski, yeah. Yeah, that was kind of fun to do. Yeah, I need to figure something else out to do for the G.I. Joe guys. I'm not really sure what would be an easy vehicle or something for them to do. I'm thinking maybe like the Trouble Bubble or something might be good. Alright, so this rod right here goes down to the side. From here to here. Alright, start putting a little bit more of this into the foot folder. Okay. Let's transpose all of that. A little bit more space. There we go. Feels about right. What do you guys think? What is the AWE striker? I need to look that up. Oh, the dune buggy thing. Okay. Yeah, I see it. It's this thing. Honestly, I am a little hesitant because I have a feeling Hasbro is probably going to make a number of these um, small vehicles once they get going. And something like this, I think, could be sold in like a 1/12 scale. I'm a little hesitant in general, I think, with it, but yeah. But yeah, that could be kind of interesting. I mean, hell, I halfway think Hasbro just ends up copying, or not copying, but ends up doing half of what I end up doing, or what we end up doing on our side. You know, it feels like everyone was making Throns, custom Throns, and then hey, look, they just popped out a Thron. People were doing custom Imperial thrones, and then freaking Hasbro comes out with their Imperial throne, and then sales of Imperial thrones just went down the toilet right after that. Same thing with the land speeder, and I shit you not, I was literally modeling a dewback, and then they announced their dewback, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. And then what was it? Grievous. I was actually I was sculpting a Grievous. And then which was kind of funny. I'm going to go for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to call it a night. Thank you guys, by the way, for coming on and hanging out. I appreciate it. It's been fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised too, honestly. Yeah, honestly, I'm thinking about it. I don't really know what they would do for a Black Series HasLab that would work really well. I listen to Mike Case quite a bit in his podcast, and like, there's not a lot that I can imagine them doing that would fit a HasLab for Black Series, because like the TIE Fighter did not sell well. And then the next vehicle, the large vehicle they did, never even hit stores. It was only online, which is honestly probably better for my wallet. Because if I had saw it, I probably would have gone after it. So I'm not really sure exactly what would have worked. Oh God, yeah. Honestly, it probably would have been. Although I would like to think my sand skiff was the crowning achievement and can never be eclipsed by Hasbro. But yeah, probably that would be a good one. But yeah, I mean, like, but that's kind of almost, that's, I mean, size-wise, it's not that much bigger than the land speeder in terms of like plastic. So I don't know if it'd be big enough for like a real HasLab, because you need to hit about $200-$300 I think a Sans gift might be a little bit small for them. It would. I'm sure it would look great though. It really would. It would have to come with some extra, like base would have to come with some good stuff. I am sad though that that Rancor didn't go. I actually ended up backing it. Hector, you and I talked a lot about this one. I ended up backing it like a couple hours left in the campaign. Especially after, Book of Boba Fett, I'm like, I really kind of wish it went through. It looked good. It looked really good. That's true, they could. They could do the Sarlacc. That would be kind of interesting. Hopefully they would do the original version. I'm not a big fan of the well, honestly, they probably would do the one with the beak. I'm not a big fan of that version, but that's what they got now. Chris, did you end up backing the Rancor? Oh, dude, Hector, you haven't even seen your Razor Crest yet, have you? Is it just still sitting at your parents' house? Okay. So, are you actually going to keep it, or are you going to try to sell it? Honestly, it wouldn't be really any work for me at all. So what I could do is take all of this and just make like a little folder and just drop everything in. Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I'm a little surprised that Jabba Throne Room, given the price, was not turned into a HasLab. because it's expensive, and it's got plenty of stuff with it. I really am surprised they just didn't make that into a HasLab. That's what I want. Why didn't you duplicate it? Duplicate folder. Oh, whoops. I made. Okay. Never mind. Delete that folder. Alright. Got to. Okay, yeah, I made a little boo boo. That's fine. Just get rid of this stuff. Delete. Delete, delete, delete. Delete. I think it looks really good. The Razor Crest, I think it looks really good. I actually kind of. I don't know if honestly I wish I had gotten one. But I think I could definitely. I was thinking about it. I think when they were running it, it was definitely not something that like would have been a good idea for me. Like that's for sure. Where the heck did you go? Oh, delete the holder. Shit. Alright. Duplicate. Okay. Transpose set. Put that back. And one might be an interesting. Yeah, I kind of think they'll probably end up doing it. I feel like they probably will eventually. All right, you're gonna weld this. You're gonna weld that. You're gonna weld that. I mean, let's just be honest. We're just sitting here waiting for this thing to take better shape, right? Well, now it and my dog have something in common. They both have 3 legs. Aaron Weld. Well, there's probably a simpler way of doing this I'm just not thinking of because it's 10 o'clock. By the way, I want to show off I am a man. I am building a fence this week. That's a thing that men do, I am told. So I am doing that. So that's going to be kind of an interesting problem because, like, the feet. Oh wait, they don't have a middle. They don't have an inside toe, do they? They only have three toes, I think. No, wait, they do have 4 toes. Does an AT-AT have 4 toes? I don't know. I don't know if it has 4 toes. Because like my child's toy, I think only has 3. Probably look. They have. Yeah, I thought they had 4. I swear. Okay, well, I'll figure it out later. Very well. Stick. Delete those back toes. That's kind of weird. Everything just shifted up a little bit for some reason. Oh well. I'll fix it later. Actually, I think that works. Yeah. I'm not exactly sure how it works in real life if this thing is clanking its feet, but honestly, like, if this thing has, I mean, if that's the base, I think this thing probably should be able to stand. I would just worry about it, like, snapping off. Thanks. Save update. Very imposing. It has no teeth at all, but it looks very imposing. It's not bad for like one night of work and just chatting. Alright guys, I think I'm going to end it. It's about 10:15 here, so I'm exhausted. Like I said, I've been working on fin stuff all day, so I'm pretty tired. This was fun though. Like a pretty picture of it. Alright, guys. I had fun. May do another one of these in a few weeks. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna sign off, go take a shower, go to bed. Night, guys. And, thank you for coming and hanging out. I really appreciate it. It was fun.